This is a forum for accomplished speakers outside of our organization to come and talk to us about topics ranging from leadership, technology, products. And today we have got the honor and pleasure of having Nivruti with us. She is the Senior Director at Intel Corporation. And she's going to talk to us today about innovation, leadership and challenges. And as you might be aware, this is a hot topic in most of the leadership circles. But before Shell and I can give away the stage to Nivruti, just a little bit in terms of her introduction. Nivruti graduated from in an MS in Operations Research and Electrical Engineering at the Oregon State University, Corvallis, Oregon, USA. She joined Intel in 1994. There she has worked on developing innovative products and methodologies for circuit design, computer architecture, and project management. She was nominated a Principal Engineer in Digital Enterprise Group of Intel Corporation in 2001, which is the second highest technical recognition. Nivruti has several patents pending, filed internationally for recognition of her work. She has also authored more than 15 technical papers in integrated circuit designs, methodologies, and operations research. She moved back with her family to India 7 years ago and is now the senior most woman executive in Intel India and the senior most in technical accomplishments. She is the Senior Director of Systems on Chip Research and Development Group of over 500 people for mobile platform technologies for handheld laptop computers, home entertainment and embedded systems, working to make high-performance computers lighter, faster, and with lower power requirements. And here is where it gets really interesting. She was nominated the first dual citizen of India by the Prime Minister Manmohan Singh due to her technical accomplishments and decision to move back to India. She and her team have adopted a village code called Bagaluru for the past 4 years, where they have been involved in education, hospitals, social benefits, hygiene improvement, and a lot. Nivruti for us, guys. I would like to call upon Shell to kind of describe his association with Nivruti.
So I don't know whether the record turnout here is because of my email or Nivruti or Vishal. So we figure that out after the end of the session. So actually, I really didn't know a whole lot about what Nivruti has done in Intel, honestly, because I know her and Sunit, her husband, very well. They're very good friends of ours. And we've always kind of met in a social gathering at airports and lounges and all that. But so it was a big surprise that about the dual citizenship. So I would like to know more about it later. But I'm really delighted to have her. We've been trying to get her to come to Sabre for a long time, but with all the travel schedules and all, we finally managed to do this. I know she's again on the road sometime next week. So I'm just very, very excited to have her here. And I think the topic here is probably a hot topic for everyone, whether you're Intel, Sabre, any other corporation, right? We constantly have these challenges about innovation versus our commitments to customers, products, all of that. And I think it'll be good for us to get a perspective from a reputed company like Intel and one of their leaders on how they look at innovation and how do they approach that, right? So we will have some question and answers at the end, right? So let's go into your presentation. Really welcome again to Sabre.
Thank you very much. That was a lot of introduction, and I truly believe that I really don't deserve that much admiration or accomplishment. I really feel that I am just a very simple person and not much to my accomplishment. But the one thing that I'm proud of, which I did not share in my bio, is I come from a family of 3 daughters and 1 son. And my father was a very hardworking person, just like you. Having 3 daughters to marry was a very, very challenging task for him. And therefore, what my mom decided to do is get us polished in every possible thing that would make us more marketable. She got us to learn music. So I have masters in Hindustani classical music. She made us learn dancing. So I have bachelors in North Indian Kathak dancing. And that was, trust me, truly the hardest thing that I have accomplished in my life. I had to dance in front of, one of the great dancers in Kathak. His name was Lachu Maharaj. And it was so hard for me to perform in front of people, whose life depended on dancing. And here I was making myself more marketable. So I think that was the hardest accomplishment for me. Intel is just a passion, and I just lived through it. And that's how I feel about it. There's nothing different that I do in Intel than just being myself. So, Shell talked about leadership and innovation and challenges associated with it. I truly feel that both leadership and innovation are about people and mindsets. So when I'm in my role, I actually just be me. Because I have a certain mindset that I'll share with you, what I really do. And I am a person who just lives their life in Intel and everything else flows. So I love doing what I do. I don't work hard in my company. I just keep doing what I absolutely love doing and be myself. I'm a big risk taker. I am not scared. I've never been scared. I was just telling Khan when we were coming, he said, hey, you're going to give this talk. What do you feel and things like that. I told him, growing up, I told you I've learned music and dancing. In front of strangers, my mom would say, go sing. And that's how I, got this confidence of standing in front of people and not having the stage fright. So I sang since I was 5 years old, and whatever song, like I remember I sang Dawn's song, Ye Mera Dil Yaar Ka Deewana, in front of so many people, and I could dance also, and people would laugh at me. And I was thinking, oh, that's entertainment, they like me. So that's a little bit of introduction on myself. And I'm really passionate about the topic that I'm going to share with you. So when, Vishal said, hey, Nivruti, give me a little bit of description on what you're going to talk about. I said, write whatever you want. I'm going to make sure that I address that, as long as they are part of leadership and innovation. So thank you very much for being here. Vishal told me there are 100+ people here, 100 hours being spent. I truly want to make it worth your time. And please interrupt me. I'm not one of those who wants to wait till question answers in the end. If there's something that really is bothering you, stop me and ask me. Okay? So a little bit of clouds here. I'm here. Our focus has been a lot of hardware development. When I say cores, we do a lot of CPUs, different types of CPUs that go into different systems. We are struggling to get into phones and tablets. You all are aware of it. There's hardly any. Does anybody have an Intel phone?
Solo.
That's the challenge we have. By the time I come here next time, I want at least see few hands. I haven't performed. So that's what we're trying to get into. And software is a very critical part of Intel, which is not in our DNA. Our DNA has been hardware, and that's part of the struggle because the system is comprised of hardware and software. Whereas when I was trying to, I know Shell for a long time, but I did not really know what his company actually did. High level I knew, airline, reservation, Travelocity, that was it. And when I started learning the history, it was very exciting. And you will see why your history is so important, because I'm going to end with something that relates to your history. So I learned about, your airline solutions, your large travel network. It was very exciting to see 1 billion people access, all the solutions that you guys have provided. Amazing. 1.21 is the population of India. That's the number of people that access. The other interesting thing, and it has to do with us and you. 10,000 people, at least in few years ago, I think 4 years ago, you were 10,000 people across 60 different offices and geographies. And your revenue was, back then, something around 3 billion. I truly hope you are doubled now. I truly hope you are 6. We are 100,000 people across many different nations, and we have $60 billion revenue. Very interesting that Intel company is known for so many years and lived on innovation, but the revenue to employee ratio is same as yours. Amazing. And I bet you very many people know about Intel, but fewer know about Sabre. But look at your productivity. It's the same. But I want to encourage you to do more, and I'll show you why I believe you can do more, much more than what me and Intel can do. So this was a little bit of trying to tell you that there is a linkage between what you guys do and what we do, and like I said, I'll bring it later on. I actually went through a couple of trainings. This was one of the discussions I had in Stanford. McKinsey was presenting this analysis. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this. If you are aware, then I'll skip through some of the topics, but if you aren't, then I'm going to spend some time on it. McKinsey did an analysis and talked about what are the few dimensions of leadership. What are the characteristics that make a person a leader? Before I actually show you McKinsey analysis, I'm going to give you one example. And this example is very dear to my heart because it's coming from one of the leaders I truly believed. I believe in leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, and I also believe in the leadership of Winston Churchill. And I'll weave in their ideas and their thoughts and what they did and what we can learn from them. So this story is right after India got independence, Mahatma Gandhi was giving a speech in London. And we had gotten independence. He gave his speech, the crowd, there was thousands of people turned up. But as soon as he gave his speech, few minutes later he was gone. Between the crowds, nobody could see him. He was a small statured guy, and not very giant or voluminous in personality. He just vanished. There were journalists, clamoring to find what is it about this diminutive leader that can attract thousands and thousands and thousands of people. But they didn't get an answer, but they got hold of Jawaharlal Nehru, who was very charismatic standing there. So they came to Jawaharlal Nehru and said, what is it about Mahatma Gandhi that attracts these thousands of people? You know what he said? That was so amazing what he said. He says, Gandhi speaks what he feels. Gandhi speaks what he feels and does what he speaks. That summed up entire leadership. He believes in what he sees a vision, he's a leader, he's visionary, he feels something and he speaks it. He does it with his heart and mind, but then he completes it with action. He does what he speaks. It goes full circle. That in one line summed up the amazing leadership qualities of Mahatma Gandhi. With that, I'm going to share with you what the dimensions of leadership are. There are 5 dimensions. I'm going to quickly build this slide because subsequent slide I'm going to talk about each one of them separately. So what McKinsey did is across the globe, by the way, has anybody studied this? The dimensions of leadership by McKinsey? You have? Okay. So since it's only one person, I'm going to take the liberty of sharing it with the rest of them. There was about 80 some leaders. Catherine Graham was part of it. Steve Jobs was part of it. There were many big leaders that were part of this analysis.